stumbling all over the place with the equipment trying to get the YouTube Live up video going, but it is now. Hello, YouTube Live. Anyway, we have our players of the game that we'll be interviewing as well. Our offensive player of the game is quarterback Bryson Kimbrough. Defensive player of the game, the safety Barkley Crawford. And our special teams player of the game, oh my gosh, for the 5th week in a row in some capacity, Evan Williams will be at the table with me, this time as the special teams player of the game. I was telling Coach Mitchell earlier, I'm just going to engrave his name in one of these chairs. Either that or just let him start hosting the show because he's here every week anyway. Okay, we're also going to do our position spotlight, and tonight we're going to take a look at the outside linebackers. And would you believe that one of the representatives from the outside linebacker group is Evan Williams, and his dad, Trent Williams, is the coach of the outside linebackers. So it'll be filled with the Williams family here tonight. It's the Evan Williams show. We'll also be doing our sports spotlight on the baseball team. Coach Mark Garner and a couple of his guys will be here to tell us what we have to look forward to this spring with the always fantastic Hillcrest baseball team. Hey, I want to remind you now about everything that we have going on with the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. First of all, of course, right now, every Tuesday night, we broadcast the Hillcrest Huddle. It's live on Tide 100.9 and also on our Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network YouTube channel. On Friday nights, we bring you, of course, the live action of the games every Friday night, and you can catch it in several different ways. First of all, you can get a subscription to the NFHS network and do a search for Hillcrest Tuscaloosa on NFHSnetwork.com and stream the video live. It's about $11 per month. Subscription service, important that you get that, especially when the playoffs get here. If you can't go to a playoff game, you'll have to have NFHS Network and their subscription in order to watch the game, because we are not allowed to do our other service that we offer through the regular season, which is YouTube Live. So all regular season games can be video streamed live on YouTube Live. There's also Mixlr.com if you're the old-fashioned type, or you're not able to sit down in front of a TV or a computer screen and watch, and you want to just listen to the action. You can go to Mixlr.com and hear the audio live stream of each of the games. So a lot of stuff going on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network, and I'm forgetting one thing, also on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Every Tuesday afternoon, we have uploaded to the YouTube channel the Hillcrest Football Review. Coach Jamie Mitchell and I sit down and we watch every single play of the game. Of course, it's we skip all the huddles and the timeouts and all that kind of stuff and condense it into about 25 minutes. And Coach Mitchell gives his insight and his thoughts on everything that happens during the game. And it's always interesting to hear what he has to say to really get to know what's going on in the Hillcrest football program. And that episode from this past Friday night's game against Hueytown, the big win over Hueytown, is up and available on the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network YouTube channel right now. And I would like to encourage you to go to Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network on YouTube and subscribe and like us there. We would really, really appreciate that. Okay, here we go. Before we move on to our first segment and bring Coach Jamie Mitchell up here to the microphone, as I see him over there finishing up his Walton's Chicken, I want to thank all of our sponsors. First, thanks to our feature sponsors, County Commissioner of District 3, Mark Nelson. He brings us the pregame show and our college picks at halftime. CB&S Bank brings you our broadcast booth. Bama Stuff sponsors our Keys to Victory. Harwood Real Estate sponsors every single kickoff of the game. All the first downs are brought to you by Stephen Fikes Allstate. Dr. Brandy Patterson of Brookwood Women's Health brings you the extra points and field goals. And Centel Home Design sponsors our Red Zone. Oh, but there's more. Tidwell Paint and Body sponsors all the timeouts. Alabama Credit Union brings you the coin toss. Award Company of America and Walk-Ons Sports Bistro brings you the players of the game. Stephen Fikes also brings you our halftime show, Stephen Fikes Allstate Halftime Show. RSV Designs brings you the scoreboard updates, and Guthrie's brings you our stat line. We also have wonderful commercial sponsors, and they are Guthrie's Chicken, Lee Palace, Bama Stuff, Alabama Credit Union, Tammy's Salon, and Linked for Life with Lori Lynn. Okay, got all that stuff out of the way, and now we're ready to talk some Hillcrest football. We'll take a quick break, and when we return, Coach Jamie Mitchell will join me at the table. We'll talk about the big win this past Friday night at Hueytown, and also talk about the upcoming game against another region opponent, the Brookwood Panthers. We're back after this. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9.
Tide 100.9 and Local Bank are proud to present Hometown Heroes. Each month, we'll take nominations for local heroes from law enforcement, firefighters, educators, and medical professionals. Our Hometown Heroes will be featured on the Tide 100.9 website. Log online to Tide109.com and nominate a Hometown Hero today. Winners will receive lunch at Texas Roadhouse. Local Bank is a proud sponsor of Hometown Heroes. Local Bank puts customers first. Local people, local decisions. Local Bank, 1635 McFarland Boulevard, Tuscaloosa, and online at mylocal.bank.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today. Now in the foot care aisle.
Nissan has a car for everyone, for every driver who wants more, whatever that more may be. More action, more guts, more turbocharged excitement. The Nissan Z and GTR put together power and style into a perfect combination. Your adrenaline will kick in when you take advantage of Nissan Z and GTR's launch control. Launch control takes the car from a complete stop to a powerful boost without hesitation. When you drive a Nissan, there is no compromising your next adventure. At Nissan, more is all they do. So get your endless thrills in a new Nissan today.
Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers. Delicious. Cook-to-order steak burgers and piping hot shoestring fries are family favorites. You'll be greeted with hospitality that is second to none, whether you dine in or visit us at the drive-thru. Be sure to leave room for Freddy's premium vanilla or chocolate frozen custard, churned fresh throughout the day for Freddy's tasty treats. Located on the University of Alabama campus, downtown Jasper, and a Birmingham location near you. Freddy's frozen custard and steak burgers must be the place.
A Rottweiler named Whiskey, with hours to live, brought back to full health. A terrier named Snoopy, paralyzed in all four legs, who ran and played again within months. These dogs are known as Marty's Miracles. Dogs brought back to health by Dr. Marty Goldstein.
I've helped countless dogs thrive with one simple concept. Your dog needs a high-meat diet, similar to what their ancestors ate in the wild.
Called the Miracle Worker by Forbes magazine, he's now created a premium dog food for you called Nature's Blend. It's the easiest way to support your dog's easy digestion, nourished skin, playful energy, and most importantly, their healthy, full life. For a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and get free premium dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511.
I'm so confident your dog will love it. Your order is backed with a 90-day guarantee.
All pets are unique. Your pet's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
Built to win. Touchdown, Alabama! Built for championships.
Throws intercepted, Alabama.
Built by Bama.
Alabama is still Alabama.
The Crimson Tide play here. Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide kick off SEC play against Ole Miss. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Brought to you by Birmingham Racecourse. BirminghamRacecourse.com. You can be a winner too.
All right, welcome back to the Hillcrest Huddle at Walton's Chicken on Patriot Parkway, just off of Highway 69 South, just south of town, and just down the street from on Patriot Parkway from Hillcrest High School. Hillcrest High School is the reason we are here, and specifically the Hillcrest football team, as we celebrate the football team and all of its success. And boy, has it been successful so far this year. 4-0 on the season, coming off a big win over the Hueytown Golden Gophers this past Friday night, 35-6. Was that right? They missed 6 points. 35-6, and the team is averaging close to less, or I think right around 4 points a game on defense. 40 to margin of victory. Team is doing so well. And joining me.
There we go. It really is, Brandon. You know, I mean, you never know from year to year, and we thought we had a good football team, but until you go play, you're just not sure. The crowd for the first one, and then, I thought it would roll in this week, and maybe the weather a little bit. I know there's some rain in the area, but we need to get everybody back in our stadium next home game. And
it's interesting that you said that. Do you think sometimes fans get a little bit spoiled and they're like, oh, they're going to win 40-0 anyway. Why even go?
Happened to me lots of times, when people, they're excited to start winning, but they get a little dull when you don't continue winning. But, it takes everybody. Our fans are super important to us, and hopefully they'll roll back in. It wasn't a bad crowd by any stretch.
Right.
Our first crowd was awesome, and hopefully that'll pick back up.
Well, don't start losing to bring them back.
Right.
It's a good problem to have. Like that, get spoiled, and one little thing goes wrong and the world is falling apart. You're kind of getting Hillcrest to that level. You're getting to the rebuilding, not rebuilding, but reloading process and not rebuilding. And I know that that's your philosophy. You talk about coaching next year's team this year. That's really paid off in your 3 years here, hasn't it?
Well, it has, and it has across my career, and it's hard to do. It's hard to continue to coach players that are a year out or 2 years out or even 3 years out. But, if you don't have a plan in place to do that, then it's really easy to run out of gas. You graduate some guys, and you hadn't really invested in the next group or the 2 years down the road group, and you end up having some holes that take some time to fill, and sometimes that's inevitable. We may have that next year. We're losing some outstanding football players this year, but
you did last year too.
We did, absolutely, we did. So we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to worry about this football team, but ball team and tradition never graduates. Outstanding, and that was developed way before I got here, and we're just trying to carry that flag on.
Well, you're doing a great job of it. Let's talk about the Hueytown game specifically. What were some of the takeaways that you had from that game?
Well, I don't think we could have played any better in all three facets in the first half. And not that the second half was bad, but we just kind of took the foot off the gas and wanted to get to the finish line and, stay healthy. But, offensively, by far our best football game that we've played. And a lot of that goes to Bryson and, his improvement there. And he played really, really well for us. So, across the board, our defense continues to just be dominant. Special teams, you mentioned Evan, what a night for him just on kickoffs and punts and, just really incredible work. And then, like I say, offensively, we were able to really generate some good things.
So now I know you could give us the coach speak here about this next thing I'm going to ask you about, but I know it's got to feel really good to you to be able to even up your record against that one team that's really been a thorn in your side, Hueytown.
I don't hide behind that. I want to beat those guys.
Okay,
okay. They put us out in the semifinals my first year here.
Right.
And, got the best of us that year as well in the regular season. And thank goodness we've been able to even the table a little bit in the last two seasons. And, it gets personal when you lose to somebody, and certainly twice, and that's a big, big loss in the semifinals. So, we want to be the best team in our region. We want to clearly dominate our region, and, for us to do that, we're going to have to deal with Hueytown on a yearly basis.
Absolutely. Now, you talked a little bit about Bryson and how well he played Friday night, and he's been playing well in the previous three games, but not quite up to the same level where he was Friday night. Do you think he's taken a step closer to where you want him to be so you have that true offensive balance?
We sure hope so. He is his mind is his biggest asset and biggest enemy. He is so analytical, and things have to make such sense to him, and probably had his best day of practice today that I've seen him have. And I just told him, I said, man, don't let the defense dictate what you do. You dictate what they do.
Right.
And he just was really confident today and really threw the ball with great confidence and made some incredible plays. So, the ability has never been questioned. Decision making, and a lot of people don't see that, if you don't understand what we're trying to do, and I understand that. But schematically, he has to be a great work. Well, the offensive line, there's still competition there. There's still, Kyson Bishop started the last couple of weeks and at left tackle, and that wasn't our starting lineup in week one. And, there's a couple other guys, and Drayshawn Blackman and James Craig, that are applying large pressure. That's healthy. I think, competition brings out the best in all of us, and, all of those kids want to play. They want their job. Our job is to keep it as competitive and as we can, and hopefully we can continue to do that. And there's area for improvement there. And then in the secondary, we've worked very hard this week just to narrow the windows from our second level defense to our third level defense, and really try to tighten up those windows. And when we're playing zone coverage, to really make it difficult to have holes. You're going to have holes in zone coverage. It's going to happen, but to really try to tighten those up and make them more difficult to hit.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Now, another thing, and it seems like we talk about this a lot. I know we talked about it a lot last year. You're heading into this stretch of the season where, you got a couple of challenging opponents left, but for the most part, you got some teams that are some struggling programs. And is it hard to keep your team focused?
Kids, they keep up with what's going on. They know the school's records that we're playing. They know their history. And, for us to continue to keep their attention level where it needs to be is a challenge, And we talked about that openly and candidly last week, that last week was a big game, and there's certain games on your schedule that just are a little more important, and that one was one of them, So, but at the same time, you've got to approach every week the same. And, I'm big on respecting our opponent, respecting the game, and, we're just in that stretch right now where we're trying to be the best version of us that we can be, and that means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to continue to improve and to continue to iron sharpens iron, and we're doing a lot of work right now with the best on the best that we have.
Right.
To try to keep that process moving.
And if you allow yourself to coast or to get into that mentality, then you don't progress and get yourself ready for that time when you're playing Saraland down in Mobile in the third round of the playoffs or something like that.
Right. I've been fortunate to be in a lot of playoff games, and been able to get to the end game, and it seems like every year is just that team that seems to continue to improve, and
regardless of who you're playing.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
And that's our goal right now, is just to really be perfect at us, and really continue to improve at what we're trying to accomplish. And don't worry about the team that's across the field. Let's take care of us. Let's make sure our execution is where it needs to be.
Speaking of that team that's across the field this coming Friday, give us your assessment of Brookwood and what we can expect from them.
Well, they're going to compete. Coach Bramlett, I love him. Great guy, and just got a lot of respect for him, and what he's done over there and what he's trying to get accomplished. They got a beautiful brand new stadium that we'll get a chance to play in, and they badly needed that, as I think we all know. And they just continue to try to find their identity, and they've had a rough go of it the last couple of years, but I guarantee you, Hillcrest is going to get the best from everybody.
Right.
So there's a huge X right in the middle of our chest, and I know he'll have those guys ready to play, and there's nothing's given any Friday night. So,
right.
We'll expect a hard-fought game from those guys, and they got a quarterback that's a really gifted player and really good runner, big, strong kid, and he's been successful against everybody, even Hueytown. They move the football on Hueytown, and so it'll be a challenge for sure. We'll have to play and compete, and we only get 10 of these a year, so we're going to enjoy getting ready to play, and then we're going to enjoy being in that arena Friday night.
And of course, you got an offensive lineman over there who's a commit to a little school here in town that we know pretty well.
He is an outstanding player, and just saw that right away when he was a sophomore. Just one of the best, well, probably the best. You better believe it. I mean, he gets anybody he wants in the country. So he is a very, very special player, and from what I understand, even a better person.
Okay, well, that's great. All right, Coach Mitchell, well, thanks again for joining us. Always fun to get caught up with you and get the insight on what's going on with the program and what's coming up for us. Can't wait till Friday night. Supposed to be great weather.
Right.
Brand new stadium. Should be exciting.
We look forward to it, and hope we'll take a good crowd to Brookwood.
Yes, absolutely. All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Thank you for joining us. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we return, we'll come back with our Players of the Week, and they are on offense, quarterback Bryson Kimbrough. Also on defense, we have the safety Barkley Crawford and the special teams player of the game. If you listen to this show at all, you know him well. Evan Williams, the kicker and punter. We'll be back with those guys and get some commentary from them right after this. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9.
Tide 100.9 and Local Bank are proud to present Hometown Heroes. Each month, we'll take nominations for local heroes from law enforcement, firefighters, educators, and medical professionals. Our Hometown Heroes will be featured on the Tide 100.9 website. Log online to Tide109.com and nominate a Hometown Hero today. Winners will receive lunch at Texas Roadhouse. Local Bank is a proud sponsor of Hometown Heroes. Local Bank puts customers first. Local people, local decisions. Local Bank, 1635 McFarland Boulevard, Tuscaloosa, and online at mylocal.bank.
I hear a lot of different, and the one thing I don't hear is instant $7 off every in-stock Altima, Rogue, and Frontier, $5,000 off every Murano, $7,000 off every Armada, $8,000 instant savings on every Titan and Titan Heavy Duty.
The Crimson Tide play here. Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide kick off SEC play against Ole Miss. Our coverage begins at 11:30.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up on the Wednesday edition of The Game, we'll feature Brett Norsworthy. We'll feature Bo Bounds. We'll feature Josh from collegefootballnerds.com. That and a lot more as we continue the Dreamland Score Prediction Contest right here on The Game, starting at 2 o'clock on Tide 100.9, the home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports program in Tuscaloosa. The Game with Ryan Fowler. Weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
All right, welcome back to the Hillcrest Huddle. Brent Jones here with you along with the Patriot Nation as we enjoy each other's company and some great Walton's chicken wings and other chicken products and fries and all kinds of stuff here at the Hillcrest Huddle as we do every Tuesday night from 7 to 8. We'd invite you to join us every Tuesday night. We'd love to have you out here with us as well. And it's time for us to move on to our segment of the show where we talk to our players of the week. This week we have the quarterback Bryson Kimbrough is our offensive player of the week. We have Barkley Crawford, the safety, our defensive player of the week, and our special teams player of the week is Evan Williams, and he is our punter and kicker, of course. Evan, I'm going to start with you, okay, and go ahead and get this over with. This is really amazing. You guys know this. Pull your mic down next to you. There you go. You guys know this, that Evan has been on this show all 5 weeks that we've been doing it this season so far.
Yeah, I heard about it.
He was on just as a representative of the team the first week. Then the second week were you defensive the second week? All right, so for the first game he was the defensive player of the game. And for the third week, he was special teams, then fourth week, defense, and now he's special teams again. So I told him I was just going to engrave his name in the chair over here, or just let him host the show. Anyway, Evan, I'll start with you. So your kickoffs, you haven't been the regular kickoff guy until last week. And that just seems to have come out of nowhere. Can you tell us how that went down?
Practice, I just really wasn't hitting the ball as good as I started, and I just figured something out and started doing better, and it worked out.
Well, what did you do that was different? What did you change?
I started pointing my toe. I wasn't pointing my toe when I was kicking off, and then I started doing that, and I started hitting the ball well. So
it was just a little physical thing that you changed.
Yep.
Wow, that's amazing. We're getting some feedback here, trying to take it. All right, I think I got this though. Okay, well, all right. Your punting has stayed consistent and stayed great. So Talk about your role that you feel that you play on this team in special teams as far as field position goes.
Yeah, whenever the offense doesn't do what they need to get a first down or something, or they're backed up and it's 3rd and long, and then it's 4th down and I got to go out there to punt. I'm just trying to flip the field and give the defense the best chance to hold them and let their offense not drive down the field. So.
How would you describe the perfect kickoff? Because there's something that I've noticed about your kickoffs. What do you think? What's the perfect kickoff?
I like a touchback because they have no chance of returning it. So, and then I would say I probably hit one of those.
Yeah, you did get one.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah. But the thing that I noticed about your kicks is they are sky high. And it seems like you're really helping the coverage team get down there to make the tackle.
Yes, sir. Whenever I don't kick a touchback, I'm just trying to obviously give them time to get down there and make a tackle.
Well, you're doing a great job, and we'll see if you're here with us next week, but I won't be surprised if you are. So thanks a lot. Oh, and by the way, you'll be back in a few minutes because you're here for the position spotlight with your dad, who is the coach. But thanks a lot, Evan. Let's move on to these other guys. First, I want to talk to you, Barkley. Barkley, this defense has only given up 15 points in 4 games. What is it that makes this defense so special?
We all play together. We just play as a team.
Now, you had to make a shift from quarterback to safety. Talk about that transition, what that's meant to you.
Well, I mean, you just gotta think a lot more. You gotta play. You gotta get all the calls to everybody. You gotta think a lot more.
Now, when you're playing quarterback, you pretty much have, and you'll play a lot of man coverage, right?
Yes, sir.
So when you're playing quarterback, you just got that one man who usually had like the star receiver of the team. So you knew what your responsibilities were.
Yes, sir.
So is it a little bit difficult? What's more difficult about playing safety?
You just gotta think a lot more, and you gotta look and see where the receivers are and make a call. If they motion, you gotta switch it. Just a lot goes into it.
Now, as a safety, though, it seems like you get to get in on the action a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you get to make more tackles. I like it.
You do like that? You
yes,
like
sir.
being able to deliver those blows. I mean, you're doing a great job with it. We could have had you up here at the table instead of Evan last week when he was the defensive player of the game because you were the leading tackler.
Yes, sir.
We didn't even realize that until after the game. We got caught up in his big play. But anyway, you're doing a great job, Barkley. Appreciate you, and keep it up with the team.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to you, Bryson. Bryson, my main question for you is, tell me about the pressure that you felt having to follow Ethan Crawford and all those expectations at the quarterback position.
It was a lot of pressure last year, especially when he went down there. I mean, but after having a whole all season and seeing what we can be as a team, everybody puts their trust into each other and it really handles itself. So I wouldn't say it was too much pressure. I'm just understanding that it's 11 on 11, not 1 on 11. I'm not by myself, and I have great teammates to help me in everything I do. And Ethan's been a great mentor to understand that you can be great being your own player. You don't have to be Ethan Crawford to be a great player, so it really wasn't much pressure at all.
Okay, what's different in your mind about the way you play quarterback and the way Ethan played?
Ethan was super athletic. Like, if anything happened, Ethan knew he was going to be stronger and faster than everybody. You know, he could make amazing plays, like, game after game after game. And where I think I'm athletic and I can get things on my legs, I don't think I'm as athletic, so it requires me to have to deliver the ball and to distribute the ball to multiple people. So you see a lot of people get a lot of receptions from the running backs, the receivers, to the tight ends. I feel like that's my strength, is being able to understand where the ball's supposed to go and get it to everybody when it's supposed to be there.
Sounds great. How do you feel about your offense's growth so far this year from game 1 to game 4?
I feel really good about it. I feel like we played a decent game at South Haven, nothing special, but on the way to Pike Road, we put up 30 points when we really should have put up a whole lot more. You know, we had a lot of penalties. Right. And we've been playing cleaner and a lot cleaner versus a really good Hueytown defense. We had 29 in the first half. And I feel like that was really, really eye-opening to, hey, we can be top of the line, we can be elite in this classification. So it's really made me proud to see our growth. and made me happy to see where we can be.
Right. So did you have 3 touchdowns Friday night?
Yes, sir.
3? Okay. All right. Go through each one of those touchdowns. Just tell me about it.
The first one that I ran in, we kind of schemed it. We seen how they would play to that formation. So I already knew I was going to pull on the fullback dive. And then it was kind of an option play, but they ran with the motion, so I just kept it and kind of walked in. The second one is a play we've been running for a while. We haven't been able to connect on like we should have. And once I seen DC, even with the cornerback, I knew I could just trust him to outrun the guy, so I just put it out and let him make a play. And then the third one, to be quite honest with you, the play wasn't supposed to work out as well it was, but our O-line blocked amazingly. And I got as much time as I wanted to sit back there and go through every progression as slow as I wanted to. So really a lot of credit to the O-line because they played a great game, but yeah, that's what happened.
All right, your offense playing pretty well, averaging around 40 points a game. Can you give your offense a grade so far this year?
So far, I would give it a B to B+, because I think we can be so much better. We can be cleaner, more efficient. It's small things that we have to correct. Everybody see, like, of course, everybody can see the big plays and the plays we make, but they don't understand everything that goes into it like we do. So once we get those small things corrected, I think we can be unstoppable.
All right, that sounds great. I'm going to ask you guys this question, and any of you can answer. This is a question I always ask Coach Mitchell. You guys know when you're playing an opponent who is struggling or not considered to be a really strong opponent. How do you approach that, and how is that different? And what are your thoughts going into a game like that?
Really, you just have to think that week in and week out, you're not going to necessarily always beat the opponent. You're going to better yourself and to better your team. So you can't get your eyes stuck on who you're playing and how good they're supposed to be. You can't watch scores and say, well, they beat so-and-so or they lost by however much. You just got to understand that you can't control what they do, and at the end of the day, you got to get better by individually getting yourself better and building your teammates up. You can't really watch other people and dictate how you're going to play off of them, but just know that you're going to play as good as you can by preparing as good as you can.
What a great answer. He not only leads the team at the quarterback position, he leads in talking for the team, doesn't he? Can you guys add anything to that? You want to?
You know, play like you're playing a good team. Don't change how you play.
Okay. Evan?
Almost every weekend, but like Barkley said, just don't play down to their level. Just play as good as we can play, and just let us do the work out there.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, I'm having so much fun watching all of you play every Friday night. It's one of the highlights of my life, seeing you guys play football. Enjoy it so much. Keep it going. Go Pats. Thanks for joining us. All right. Those are our players of the game, brought to you by Walk-On's Bistro and Award Company of America, and we appreciate those two sponsors so much. We appreciate these guys out on the field every Friday night doing such a good job. That's quarterback Bryson Kimbrough, the offensive player of the game, safety Barkley Crawford, the defensive player of the game, and the kicker and punter Evan Williams, special teams player of the game. Okay, we're going to take another break, and when we return, we're going to do our position spotlight. Our position spotlight for tonight is going to be the outside linebackers, and we'll be back to talk to Coach Trent Williams and a couple of his outside linebackers right after this. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9.
Weekday mornings at 6 a.m., The Martin Houston Show.
Join us tomorrow as we keep the conversation rolling right here on the Martin Houston Show on a Wild Card Wednesday. We'll look inside the playbook. We'll ask Scotty Hollins to the conversation with the Harvest Church Christian Moment of the Week, as well as dig deeper into Saban's post-game comments on the proud of the team's competitive spirit. Is he softening the blow? Is this a championship quality team? We'll talk about it right here on the Martin Houston Show.
Catch the Martin Houston Show from 6 to 7 weekday mornings on Tide 100.9.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow truck, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. And now we need your help to make sure we're safe too. Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside. And if you can't safely move over, please slow down.
Visit DriveSafeAlabama.org, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
On the next Inside the Locker Room with Coach Wimp Sanderson and Barry Sanderson.
Tune in Wednesday. We'll continue to look at the Ole Miss-Alabama game this Saturday at 2:30. Also talk to Bill Cameron down in Auburn, find out about the Auburn Tigers traveling to Texas A&M for a road game against the Aggies.
Inside the Locker Room, weekdays 7 to 9 a.m. on Tide 100.9 and Tide100.9.com.
Built to win. Built for championships. Built by Bama.
Alabama is still Alabama.
The Crimson Tide play here. Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide kick off SEC play against Ole Miss. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Brought to you by Birmingham Racecourse. BirminghamRacecourse.com. You can be a winner too.
Catch Christian and Corey Miller every weekday here on Tide 100.
Linebacker, Crimson Tide Sports Network sideline report.
And this is the Pastor Payne of the Miller's Edge. Coming up tomorrow on the program, we'll rush around the SEC. We'll take a closer look at Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss, plus your phone call. That's coming up tomorrow on the Miller's Edge.
Tune in 11 to noon to hear Christian and Corey Miller break down everything from college to the pros on Tide 100.9, the home of Alabama sports.
Say it. He said come out there 15. That's fine. I'll be there. I'll pull it, Jamie. That's fine. You see my truck driving
All right, welcome back to the Hillcrest Huddle. Brent Jones here with you at Walton's Chicken on Patriot Parkway, just off of Highway 69 South and just down the street from Hillcrest High School. I want to remind you once again about the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Not only do we bring you the Hillcrest Huddle every Tuesday night from 7 to 8 at Walton's Chicken and live on Tide 100.9, but the show is also live on YouTube Live if you can't be here and you want to check that out. Of course, your first choice needs to be to come here and join the Patriot Nation. Also, don't forget that every Tuesday afternoon on YouTube, our YouTube channel, we have available for you the Hillcrest Football Review with Coach Jamie Mitchell. Coach Mitchell and I sit down and watch an abbreviated version of every play of the game. All we do is we edit out the timeouts, the huddles, all the stuff in between the plays, halftime, everything. We just watch play after play after play after play. We get it done in about 25 minutes. Coach Mitchell gives his analysis and his insight as to what's going on. It's a lot of fun to hear him talk about the team and the games and really get to know the team well. So that's another thing about the Hillcrest Football Broadcast Network. Also want to mention that you can watch us on a live stream on the NFHS Network. Just do a search for Hillcrest Tuscaloosa on NFHSnetwork.com. That's a subscription service that's going to cost you around $11 or $12 per month. But I got to tell you this, if you want to catch the live stream of the games during the playoffs, you have to have allowed to broadcast live stream the games on YouTube Live as we are the regular season games. Right now you can catch the regular season games for free on YouTube Live, but be sure you join NFHS Network at least by the playoffs so you can catch those games in case you're not able to make it out to the stadium for one of those long trips that we sometimes take for the playoffs. And there's one other thing about the Hillcrest Football Network I want to tell you about. It's the audio stream, live audio stream every Friday night on Mixlr.com. That's MIXLR.com/Hillcrest Football Live. And you can listen to a live audio stream of all the games right there. Okay, guys, welcome to the show. We have joining us here at the table the outside linebacker coach, Trent Williams, who is also my neighbor. I see him when I'm walking around in the neighborhood all the time. We also have two of his players joining us. We have his son, who was just here a moment ago, the special teams player of the week, Evan Williams, who I called Luke Williams several times, I noticed this past Friday night. Did you listen back to it and see him? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm just used to saying Evan Williams. But anyway, we also have another outside linebacker, Jose Chisholm. Both those guys doing a great job. I want to start with you, Trent. This defense has been so dominant. Can you tell me what makes this group so special?
Well, it all starts up front. We got physical guys up front. They get after the ball. They attack. And so that sets us up. We work to the inside linebackers. Same mentality. Smart guys. Play downhill. And then you got us on the outside. We take care of the outside run stuff. Play some pass coverage. Routed to the football. We just got guys that are smart and they run to the football and really physical.
Okay, my next question, I think you just answered it. I was going to ask you, what makes this group so special, your outside linebacker group? How would you grade their performance?
Well, we got a little bit of everything. You got Evan, at 6'4", 220, around that range, and smart player. And then you got guys that are stepping up, in the faster range, probably in the 185 range, 6'1", 185. 6 foot, 185. They can run a little better, so they would play them in coverage. They play star more for us, and Evan would play the warrior position. It's more run fit stuff, being attached at the line of scrimmage, playing under blocks, playing with their hands more.
And what do you think they still need to improve on?
Well, we can always get better, in everything we do, each phase. Tackling, fundamentals of tackling. You can always work fundamentals, getting off blocks. I'd probably say also just our pass coverage stuff, being able to drop, get our eyes in the right spot, and play the under routes better as a defense.
Specifically with outside linebackers in this defensive scheme that you play, what are their specific responsibilities from play to play?
Okay, so first off, it's stopping the run. We're run players first, and then pass second. We have the under routes. We have the things that break usually within the 10 to 12 mark on the field, break under 10 or 12. We have under those routes. Okay, so we're playing zone coverage on that stuff. There's times that we have to play at star. We have to play some man coverage stuff, but we usually take the warrior out, and he doesn't play in those. So that's why we use two different type people. We use more of a run stopper at warrior and more of a cover guy at star. It's more like a hybrid strong safety position.
Okay. And it's kind of situational the way you approach it as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you, Trent. I appreciate that. You're doing a great job with these guys, and you're also a great neighbor. And I'm thinking that your son Jude. How old is Jude now?
He's 3.
He's 3. So I guess in about 12, 13 years we'll see him up there in Patriot Red, right?
I hope so.
Give him a chance here real quick. Jose, we talk about this impressive defense, and you're
we worked together very well, and I feel like we just all come together as a team and that's what we do.
Okay, that sounds good. On any given play, as an outside. Okay, sounds good. What do you learn from this guy over here, Coach Williams?
Everything.
What grade would you give the outside linebackers so far in this game and why?
In this upcoming game?
No, what grade would you give it? Given your outside linebacker group a grade so far this season, what grade would you give them and why?
Not a high C. We can always get better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think, Evan?
I'd probably say like a B. B.
Okay, sounds good. I was talking to Coach Bridget earlier about Hueytown, what a thorn they've been in our side. How special was that win for you?
was nice. It was nice. We played them our sophomore year. They beat us in the regular season, and then we faced them in the 4th round, and they got us again. So it was nice to get like even to 2-2. So yeah.
Right. All right. Well, you got another region game coming up against Brookwood this Friday night, guys. You're doing a great job at the outside linebacker position, just like pretty much every position group I'm bringing up here. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you at the stadium on Friday.
Thank you.
All right. That is our outside linebacker position spotlight here on the Hillcrest Huddle with Coach Trent Williams, Evan Williams, his son, one of the outside linebackers, and Jose Chisholm. Thanks for joining us here at the Hillcrest Huddle. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to shift gears and we're going to bring the baseball team up to the table. Well, not the whole team, but we'll have Coach Mark Garner and a couple of his players come to the table with us and talk about what we can expect in the spring for the Hillcrest baseball team. Keep it here. This is the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9.
Coming out on the game with Ryan Fowler.
Wednesday edition of the game. We'll feature Brett Northford. We'll feature Bo Bounds. We'll feature Josh from collegefootballnerds.com. That and a lot more as we continue the Dreamland Score Prediction Contest right here on the game, starting at 2 o'clock on Tide 100.9, the home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports program in Tuscaloosa. The game with Ryan Fowler. Weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Everybody loves Taco Casa. Everything we do in our store, we prepare in our store. You know, we hand cut all of our tomatoes. We block and shred our own cheese here in the store. So we still hand cut our chips, our sopapillas, our taco shells, our chimalupa bowls. Our chili takes about 4 to 6 hours to make every single day. The goal in that is to provide the freshest, best quality to our customers. So we just look at it as, hey, basically, we're your kitchen. You're just coming to eat in your kitchen. Taco Casa, under the biggest cactus in town.
Built to win. Touchdown, Alabama! Built for championships.
Throws intercepted, Alabama.
Built by Bama.
Alabama is still Alabama.
The Crimson Tide play here. Join us Saturday as the Crimson Tide kick off SEC play against Ole Miss. Our coverage begins at 11:30 on your home for Alabama football.
Brought to you by Birmingham Racecourse. BirminghamRacecourse.com. You can be a winner too.
Go inside the Alabama Crimson Tide with the Gary Harris Show.
Hey everybody, it's Gary Harris. Coming up at 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning, the Gary Harris Show. The NASCAR report with Matt Coulter, Andrew Bones' recruiting segment, and also we'll talk to a former NFL player who has written a book for women that like football. All that and more.
Catch the Gary Harris Show Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. on Tide 100.9 and Tide100.9.com.
Hello and welcome back to the Hillcrest Huddle. Brent Jones with you, live from Walton's Chicken on Highway 69 South. Well, not on Highway 69 South, just off of Highway 69 South on Patriot Parkway and just down the street from Hillcrest High School. Patriot Nation out here again in full force. As always, we'd love for you to come out and join us as well. And now, as we mentioned, we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk some Hillcrest baseball. And we've got head coach Mark Garner here with us. We also have two of his star players. We have Jackson Henderson and Brooks Tennell with us. And guys, welcome to the table. Great to have you here with us tonight. And Mark, I want to start with you. And I want you to kind of go through last season and how it turned out and give us a summary of what happened last season.
First of all, thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you doing this for our guys. And last year, I was very pleased with our guys. We ended up making it to the third round of the playoffs and the quarterfinals, and we ended up playing Stanhope Belmore again, who we faced 3 straight years in the playoffs. We got them the first 2 years, but they had a senior-led team that was very well coached, very well developed team, and they ended up getting us in the third round this past year. So very pleased with our guys, though. I think we started the year, we knew we had a lot of things to work on, and our record showed it, and our guys I guess the nice way to put it is our guys just jumped on board and got better each and every day and put together a pretty great season, pretty impressive.
You know, it's interesting that you say that about the season and how it started, because that seems to be a pattern with your team these past few years. Y'all start off slow and then finish strong. What's up with that?
You're right. I guess you would think I would learn from it. I mean, if you look at our schedule, it's pretty tough, and you would think over time that, hey, it's not fun to start off the way we start off sometimes, but I think it really does do dividends for our guys down the road, and that's the point. I mean, you've always, as a coach, you know you want to play the best competition, and we try to do that each and every week with our guys. We try to put them in that position, and I think for us, the last couple of years, we've been a little younger, and that's allowed us to see ourselves where exactly we are, and it wasn't in a good place early on in the year, and just continue to develop, and that's what I believe wholeheartedly that it helped get these guys to where they were able to play great down the road.
So when you start out with a tough schedule, it kind of toughens your guys up and makes them ready when the game's on the line in the playoffs and it's do or die, right?
Oh yeah, and you know, none of these guys enjoy losing either. You know, so it gets that hunger inside of you to find ways to get better and find ways to just find ways to win.
All right, can you tell us some of your expectations for the team this season?
Well, we got a handful of guys that's played a good number of innings for us, a good number of games for us that will be seniors this year. That's played a good number of games since they were sophomores, and that's something that we're looking forward to, and looking forward to what they bring to the table, kind of the maturity of, hey, I've been there, I know how the guys in front of me have handled what this team can do, and kind of the legacy that the guys in front of them have left. And so I'm really looking forward to this bunch and see how those leaders, I think that's one of the strengths that I hope this team will have. Obviously, we hadn't even threw one pitch yet, but I hope these guys step up and take over that role that they've been led to.
Right. What are some challenges you feel like the team's going to face?
Challenges, here's the thing. Our guys have put together some good seasons over the past, and to brag on them, I don't like bragging a whole lot, but when we made those quarterfinals this past year, that was 10 years in a row that our guys have put together at least quarterfinals or better. So I think a big challenge for us is, can this group stay hungry and not to the level of getting there, but stay hungry enough to be the best that we can be, and not just whatever, you know.
Not just coast on expectations.
Correct. And I think that's a big thing. Can we be hungry each and every week and see how good that we can really be?
Right. All right. Thank you, Coach Garner. We'll move on to your players over here and talk to them for just a minute. Jackson and Brooks, first of all, can each one of you tell me what your role is and your responsibility on the team?
I mean, you know, I play outfield and I pitch. You know, last year I was the #1 guy, so I threw the first game.
Okay. So you're the ace of the staff, as they say, right?
One could say that.
Okay.
Yes.
And tell me what your strengths are as a pitcher.
To be honest with you, I just go out there and compete, do what I got to do.
You don't have any special pitches or any pattern you have with the way you throw the ball or anything?
Not really. Last year I just listened to Coach Thompson, did what he told me to do.
So you just get up there and throw the ball.
Yeah, I go out there and try to win.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, you Brooks, what about you?
I play first base for the Patriots.
Yeah. And what about at the plate? How are you at the plate?
Pretty good.
What is your strength at the plate? What do you hit for?
Pull side.
Pull side? Okay, are you on the left side or the right side?
Right side.
You're on the right side? You pull it down the left field line. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. What about you? What about you, Jackson? What about you at the plate? Tell me.
I mean, that's my favorite place to be. Love to hit, but you know, it gets real frustrating sometimes when.
Are you a home run hitter? You're a big guy. You a home run hitter?
Every once in a while, I'll squeak one out of there.
Okay. Sounds good. Tell me about the Hillcrest baseball tradition. Coach Garner was talking about it. How important that is to you? What does it mean to you?
Well, you know, of course, you don't want to let nobody down. You don't want to. You want to be better every year. So I mean, you know, making it the quarterfinals every year is kind of like our thing. And I mean, you know, of course, we want to win our area every year, which we don't want to talk about last year. but whatever, that's behind us now. So, I mean, I guess just keeping up the standard and improving it every year is a big thing for us.
All right, sounds good. And you guys are both seniors now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay,
sir.
so what is your role on the team as a senior? What do you feel your responsibility is?
Being a leader, being the best I can be for the team.
I reckon, keeping it fun, keeping it loose, and just going out there and playing ball and showing that that's how it needs to be done and showing the Hillcrest way of doing things.
All right, that sounds great. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here with us. Looking forward to another fantastic season of Hillcrest baseball. And 10 years at least, the quarterfinals. Now, if Coach Perano and Coach Armstrong were here, they would say we're jinxing it by saying it right now. So hopefully we're not doing that.
There you go.
But thank you so much for joining us, guys. Look forward to seeing you guys out on the diamond this spring. All right, that's going to wrap things up for us here tonight for the Hillcrest Huddle. Thank you so much for joining us. We're at Brookwood this Friday night against the Brookwood Panthers for another 6A Region 4 matchup. Hope to see you there. We're going to wrap things up here. Good night. This has been Brent Jones from Walton's on the Hillcrest Huddle on Tide 100.9.
WTUG HD2 Northport and W265CG Tuscaloosa. A Town Square Media station. One man to beat, you can forget about it. Touchdown, Alabama. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. Inside the locker room with former Crimson Tide basketball coach Wimp Sanderson and his son, former SEC and ACC assistant basketball coach Barry Sanderson.